Divorce Papers, Oklahoma. I'm Tulsa attorney James Wirth, and that is the phrase that we have today that we're talking about. And that phrase gets 480 searches a month on Google. That is a question that people are answering, and it's simply this: Divorce Papers, Oklahoma. So anybody that's searching for that, we assume they want to know, how do you do your divorce papers? How do you come up with those? And there's generally about 3 different ways that you do that. So first off, what is not an option? When you go down to the courthouse in Oklahoma, you talk to the court clerk, they do not have standardized template forms to fill out. They do not have check a box here, fill in a blank here in order to do your divorce pleadings. Some states have that. They have that simpler process. California is an example of that. Here in Oklahoma, we don't have that, so that's not an option. So what are your options? Well, first off, you can draft your own paperwork. If you know how to do that, have experience doing that, you can draft your own. If you don't, you can look at what other people have filed in court before that same judge in a divorce case very similar to yours. What have they filed? How did that go for them? That's one way to do it. Copy what other people have done. The other way, hire a drafting service. There are drafting services in town. Some attorneys have drafting services where you pay a flat fee. They can give you legal advice and fill out the forms that you need. Generally, we would do that only for an agreed divorce because if it's a contested matter, divorce drafting service is not real helpful because you're going to continually need edits and additional forms, and it's just a process that changes as you go through it. It's very fluid. But that is your second option. First option, draft it on your own. Second option, hire a drafting service, whether it's a lawyer drafting service or a non-attorney drafting service. And the third option, obviously, is hire an attorney. Generally speaking, depending on what's involved in the case, it's worthwhile to get an attorney. If it's a small matter that's agreed, maybe it's not worth the cost of that, but there are risks of obviously going without an attorney. But hiring an attorney, there's risks to that as well in the form of expenses. It's not always cheap to get an attorney, but that is your third option. So all 3 options together: draft it on your own, hire a drafting service, whether that's a drafting service that's a non-lawyer or a lawyer, and then the last one is hire an attorney for representation that can handle the drafting of your pleadings and representing you in court. If you have any questions about those options, don't take this general advice. Talk to an attorney specifically about your circumstances. To schedule a consultation with somebody at my office, you can go online to makelaweasy.com.